Welcome to the Impactful Engineer Project. I'm Steve Maxey, and with my co-host and brother Jake, we are here to bring you guidance, fresh ideas, and the tools to help you become an impactful engineer.
Yeah, I think we've talked about that before. It might have been like an episode on finding your purpose, but finding your why or something like that.
It might have been with
your passion. That's what it was.
Yeah, and
we talked about finding your passion.
It could have been. I'm sure we touched on it when we had Jeff Perry on too.
Yeah, being intentional.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's more about. I think what we concluded was it's more about being intentional for intentional's purpose, like intentional's sake, and that will lead to discovering your purpose. You know what I mean? Like it will lead to unlocking the door and the pathways to finding that true power, which we're both still absolutely chasing. And I was reflecting and writing and spitting back and forth with the old ChatGPT and just trying to iterate on, what my purpose is. And I've had a few versions of it because I've done some coaching and I've done some reflection stuff. But like right now, it's pursuit. And you can break down pursuit into some, the typical, like break it down into the Latin, and there's a couple words and you can really, and I just went down this rabbit hole. I'm like, what does it mean? What does it mean? And I just kept going and going and going. And it's just like how I define why I do what I do now is pursuit. Because I think it's the most flexible for me because, it's like taking care of the family member that we're taking care of right now.
Mm-hmm.
My pursuit is to give this person the best life that they can have at this moment due to my influence and helping them with this transition they're in. Like that is my pursuit, right? And with this business I have, my pursuit, is to put the customer in the best possible position that they can be in to succeed, however they've defined that. That's my pursuit, right?
Yeah.
My pursuit is to help my kids chase what they're interested in so that they can stack skills and learn things. It's my pursuit. So what do? I pursue. So if anybody asks me what my purpose is, it's to pursue. And then I can dive into it as deep as you want after that. But that also makes it simple for me to understand. And I like simple things.
Yeah.
Big old complex thing comes to me and that I just cannot grasp. It's like, okay, let's break it down into pieces into a 1 + 2 + 3 scenario. And then I understand the math.
Yeah. Oh, because you want it to be actionable, right? You want to be able to have those what would you call them? Like micro pursuits and just be like, all right, in this moment right now, this is what I'm pursuing. Later in the evening, now I need to focus on my kids, right? That's my pursuit at this moment this is the thing that I am actively targeting.
And that's one of the biggest things about this definition for myself is that I get to just switch.
Yeah. I mean, it's
the purpose is not to grow a business because when I'm not growing the business, then I'm off my purpose.
Yeah.
And that sucks.
Yeah. I mean, the growth of a business,
I don't like that.
or making money, like for those that are, like myself that are in careers, that's a byproduct of the pursuit. Right. So your pursuit is to satisfy your customers and to make sure that or exceed their expectations. Right. And to make sure that they are finding their pursuit. And as a result of that's how you find growth in the company and how the financial side of it as well. It's a byproduct. Just the pursuit of money itself is terrible and it's just not sustainable. You have to have a pursuit, a purpose that has a lot of humanity to it and something that you're just driving towards. And all the other stuff that is like tangible, I guess, is just a byproduct of it.
Yeah, and this is just for me.
Mm-hmm.
And what you're saying though with the byproduct of it, I use that in a lot of things. Like almost everything in my life. It's like setting goals. Like I used to set goals with time limits and specific things happening and blah, blah, blah. And I've adopted this new thing earlier this year of like, I'm just going to do the things that have the best chance to have the desired outcome over and over and over and over.
Yeah.
And just relentlessly pursue those
Yeah.
things. Because as I'm discovering, almost always does it come out that the outcome is what I desired it to be, because I just did the things that create that outcome and I didn't think of anything else.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that goes back to what we've talked about before is, setting goals on your inputs and, with the intention of pursuing the outputs. But, like going to the gym, right? Your goal should be, I'm going to the gym every day this week and next week and the following week, et cetera, et cetera. It's like, if you do those things, you achieved your goals, right? Your short-term goals, but you're pursuing the weight loss, you're pursuing the muscle gain or whatever your pursuit is.
Yeah. And, and the reason that I actually decided to do it, Steve, is because I was tired of negotiating, talking about, and trying to dissect the outcome. Because it just got in my way.
Oh yeah.
Like you using your example of weight loss or muscle growth or whatever it is. If you just become the type of person and behave in the way and do the thing and the input over and over and over, and you don't get distracted by why the outcome's not there, whether you said it too aggressively, didn't set it aggressively enough, somebody else says something about it, somebody else is having a better outcome faster than you, blah, 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 and you ignore all of that and you just work out every day. And then you make workout friends, and then they want to invite you out to go do things that are like, oh, hiking instead of sitting in front of a TV with nachos. Or you start surrounding yourself with people that you just become in it, where you could have just shut yourself down by going, it's not working for me, and none of these people are like me, and I just don't have the right body for it, and these people get better results, and this applies to everything, of course. So this is really the power behind it and why I'm doing it, because it's been proven to me over the last 2 years. Before I even adopted the frame, I was like, oh, I figured it out. This is what's happening.
Yeah.
I just made an episode a week for my podcast, no matter what.
Yeah.
Our podcast. This is my podcast, Steve.
Hey.
We just made an episode a week.
Yeah.
No matter what. Right?
Yeah.
And we could have set goals. We could have said, oh, this is the viewership we wanted. This is what we need to see in the graph. Yeah. And if we don't see it, we're going to wonder why. And then we're going to get all upset about it. And then we're going to be like, oh, let's change this and this and this and this a million times to try and get there. When if you just do it, and you put out good content long enough.
Yeah. And how freeing is that, right? Like,
it's amazing. Dude.
Yeah. You just, every day you can go to sleep knowing that, you know what, I killed it today because I recorded my podcast. I worked out. I made my 20 calls to customers, or whatever the heck it is that you're doing, or a combination of the different things that you're doing, like, right? And you can sleep well knowing that you accomplished everything you set out to do. And then you just do that day after day after day. And then you're just going to be living life. You're going to be like blissfully happy, right? And just rocking and rolling. And then the results just start showing up from whatever your pursuit is. And
I can't go ahead.
Yeah. I was just going to say, we both ran into this before we realized what this was. Right.
I know exactly what you're going to say.
I mean, for me, it was the losing the weight. Right?
Okay. There you go. Yeah.
I'll let you follow up here in a second, but it was, when I had that health scare, when I was over 300 pounds, and they're like, hey, you just need to change your diet to this, and you need to exercise every day. And I was like, okay. And that was my goals, right? I'm eating like this and I'm exercising every day. I didn't have a weight I needed to lose. I just needed to know that I needed to do these things to turn things around. And that's it. I just did it day after day after day after day. And then 9 months later, I was 90 pounds down. And I was just like, holy shit, that works. You just focus on the thing you need to do right now and just continually be consistent and execution, and bam, you have the results you were after, but you weren't having the anxiety of you not seeing the changes or seeing those results at a certain point in time. If I saw those 12 months instead of 9 months, I would have still been stoked because I knew I was executing every day.
But if you had set your goal to lose 90 pounds in 6 months, and you didn't reach it, you would have faltered.
Exactly. I would have been like, I'm a failure.
Yeah, This isn't for me. I'm trying to save my own life, but I don't get to because I'm not good enough, or I didn't do it right, or just whatever. Like I didn't make the thing, you just focused. But there's like a couple ways this all comes about. One is a bottom, like a rock bottom moment, like which in certain contexts we both have had.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's just listening to the people that have been on the trail before you say what it is and just pleading to you, please just go do it. Yeah, you could do that too. You don't have to hit rock bottom.
Yeah.
But it's also funny how long it takes to learn the concept, even though you're doing it in real time for years.
Yeah.
It's been just like, it's what Dad used to say. It's what, people on different podcasts have been saying. It's the power list. It's, discipline over willpower. It's like,
discipline equals freedom.
Yes.
And, yeah.
Yes, we get but you don't really get it until, and this is the hindsight's 2020 thing, but you just don't get it till you do it. So I just want people to take from where they're at to when they start actually doing this thing, to be as short as possible. And so I guess the easiest way to do it is to pick one thing, right? And then you just improve that one thing. You just change it forever. Just do the inputs differently. And who cares about the output? And then the output will resolve itself.
Yeah. What was that? It looked like you thought I was going to go with one example, and I
thought for sure you'd go with the power list, because we used to do the 5 damn things every day that we're supposed to do, and we're like, oh wow, this actually works.
Yeah, it does.
So it's just very simple. You say 5 things you're going to do, and you do them. And you do them every day.
Yeah. And then when you're done, you can do whatever you want, but at least you did those 5 things that move you forward.
Forget about everything else. Yeah. Yep. So that's what I'm doing with my daughter right now. It's like, now's the age where and it's the age when I started looking into purposeful training, weightlifting activity, because my favorite activities are to be non-active. And it reflects very much so in my kids. And so we have to implement something to counteract that for our own benefit. And that's working out and doing some intentional weightlifting and all that stuff. So I've introduced that now, and we have no goal. It's just that we work out for 30 minutes a day.
Yeah.
That's it. And we do it together. So we're on our 4th day in a row, and we're just going to go from there. And I told her there's no goal. There's no weight thing. There's no build this. There's no reach this level. Just do.
Yeah.
And that inherently, I can already see it. She's drinking more water, because during and after the thing, it's like, I need a bunch of water. So
yeah, weird.
Now I get more water. We didn't set a goal to drink more water. Eight big bottles of water a day. It's like, no, we just worked out, and now we're drinking some more water. Right now we're eating a little better, and you can see I'll see all the things that I know are going to happen. But it's just because we're focusing on the input. So
yeah,
I think this rolls really well into something that, because we kind of just were talking about this before we started rolling. You could stop the episode here, and it's going to be goal. It's just do the things. This goes into something that I would like to talk about: environment versus willpower. And so I like to say your environment isn't built for when you have willpower. It's built for when you don't. And what I mean by that is willpower can be very big in people, especially when they have the values to back it up, where they have that internal fight with themselves that says you shall not do this because it is against what you believe. Then you have very strong willpower for that thing. If it touches a value nerve that you believe yourself, nobody instilled it into you for you. And if anybody argued with you, you would feel just fine telling them the way it is. That's a very strong core value that you have, and a belief that's within yourself. You can have very high willpower for that. But if you rely on that willpower alone to get you through everything, there will be a time where it falters. There will be a time when you're too tired. There will be a time where it's weak. And if you lose the willpower in the moment and your environment has been fighting you the whole time, you will lose in the end, or at least temporarily. It will throw you way off track.
Yes. Yeah.
And so what I mean by that is, in the perfect example, sorry to cut you off.
No, you're good.
But just imagine yourself wanting to stay a certain weight because you've lost a bunch because you started having health problems at that time, and losing the weight solved it. You had a bunch of willpower because you hit rock bottom like you did, Steve. And then you're steady. And then you go ahead and just fill your entire living room where you spend 2 to 3 hours a day, watching TV or doing your hobby or something, playing with your kids, playing a game. You stack every shelf and every visible thing with your favorite Doritos chips. So your environment is now filled, or donuts, or just insert what you just love, right? That thing you love. And you just fill the whole room with it and make it very accessible. It's out of the packaging. You can smell it. It's near you. It's within reach. And
everyone else is eating it.
And then everybody else is enjoying it. And the second your willpower drops, you're going to reach for one. And then you're going to go, one, that's okay. And then you're going to reach for another one. And then it's going to compound on itself. So that's what I'm talking about, environment-wise.
Yeah.
And everyone's environment's different. That's fine.
Yeah. And the thing to combat that is to build discipline. And so the more discipline that you have, the stronger your willpower becomes, but the more, like, I guess it's more like reinforced your willpower is, right? You are able to just go, no, like, I know that is not the right thing for me to do. And so I've built this discipline over time that helps me to not give in to that, the thing that I'm after or that I love doing.
Hey, my fellow impactful engineers, if there's one thing that you could do to help out this community, it's to keep listening to the podcast, but also if you found value in it, to share it with one person, give us a 5-star review, or even leave a text review. It'll only take a few seconds of your time. Find that person that you think could enjoy some of this or learn from it, and pass on the good word. Now back to the show. And that's powerful, and I recommend you do both things. Mm-hmm. Up the discipline and remove the friction from your environment.
Absolutely,
as much as possible.
Yeah. There's from both directions, right? Like that you need to set yourself up for success, and this goes beyond like, the snacks or the, the guilty pleasures or whatever. I mean, if you're trying to be very successful, remove the friends that are losers, gain friends that are winners. And be around them more often. Like, you're better off, I hate saying it, but like better off alone than around a bunch of losers. And I'm just using that as a blanket term, right? I mean, you could have someone that they're not a loser, but they're just not motivated, right? But just losers and winners.
Here's a big, so framing it as losers and winners makes total sense to me. And I can remove all emotion from it. Some people listening to this are going to be like, fuck, dude, you guys are mean as shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Losers and win. Yeah, okay. But I have I heard somebody say something that I thought was great, and I'll bring that perspective here. I still think of it as the losers and winners thing, because I can just remove the emotion from it and look at what it is.
It just breaks it down. Yeah.
So the terms matter so that we can reach more people. There's people who prefer to live their life differently than you. Mm-hmm. And the way they prefer to live their life does not support or encourage you to live the way that you prefer to live.
Yeah.
So I think that's the only thing you're talking about.
Yeah, exactly.
Why would you do that? So that's part of environment. So, and it's not that you have to cut all those people out of your life. It's just that maybe you should
just less engagement, right?
Have a little less engagement, put some more boundaries around it. And this goes for like friend groups too. It's like, for some reason, there's this notion that you should have the same friends from high school that were good buddies with you through your entire life, and that you're never going to change. You all love the same stuff, and you're ready to move up together in sync for the rest of your life. It's just not true. And in fact, you can still have your buddies and your friends and still live the way that you prefer to live as well. And they can still live the way they prefer to live. No problem. The conflict is when the two people don't accept the fact that when you make the choice to live how you prefer to live, you won't always be aligned.
Yeah.
That's where the problem comes from. Then you get the remarks like, oh, you're not who you used to be, and
don't forget
too
where you
good
came
for
from.
us now, and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's when that starts happening. And then it's like, what tactic is there? We can't give you everything. Sometimes you just got to draw a line and be okay with them being pissed off.
Yeah, I mean,
for a while.
I was going to say,
they'll get it after a while.
I think the easiest thing is like, yep, I've changed. I am pursuing who I want to be.
Yeah.
And so I have to change to do that.
Yeah. And it'd be
And
cool
that's
if
it.
you support me in that, you know?
Yeah.
And if not, that's cool too, you know?
Exactly.
I can't wait. Like, I heard that new term and it's from, you know, I like to pick one person and learn everything that I can from them. And I still haven't learned everything I can from this person. So I'm still like, you know, really digging in.
Yeah. No, I
just
really
love
like that.
And
Yeah.
I can't wait until I can casually drop that in a conversation if it ever gets there. It's like, yeah, no, I totally get it. You prefer to live your life one way. I prefer to live my life one way. And they don't match.
Yeah. And that's okay.
That's great. Good thing there's this whole big ass earth that we get to play in and never have to see each other again. I mean, that's cool. I like that. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, totally fine.
Yeah.
Or we can coexist and just know that we prefer different things and be okay with that.
Yeah. And you know what? We could still cheer each other on.
Hell yeah.
It's like, hey, you are living the way you prefer. That's awesome. You know?
Yeah.
Keep after it.
And I bet you there's a lot of things that you prefer that I actually agree with. It's just this one thing that then we're going to use to just take one broad, stroke about each other. It's like, well, why would we do that? But if you want to, and that's the way you prefer it, I'm cool with that. It's not that I can't wait to do that to have that conversation.
You got to be careful because
it's a good tool.
You could land up in passive aggressive land pretty fast there.
That's right, and that's okay. Like,
yeah,
I've got to find ways. You learn through life that you got to find ways to do what works for you to get yourself through situations in the best way possible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and for me, it used to be just walking away, because I used to have a lot of issues with being right and people need to understand what I'm saying. And what's cool is that my son's going through the same thing. If he thinks that you have not understood what he's saying or see his side, he gets so mad, just like I used to. Just like I used to, Steve. You don't understand me. You have wronged me, and I'm so I'm going to blow up inside, you know.
Yep. I remember
so as an
that,
adult,
Jake.
I had to just walk away. Yeah. Over the stupidest things.
Yeah.
People thought I was crazy. You know, I'm just like, I got to walk away before I call you an idiot straight to your face and then want to fight you. Like,
my one of my all-time favorite Jake blow up moments as kids is you just getting so mad that you just walk back to the back bedroom down the hall and you're just banging the wall all the way down.
I remember that. Yep. You remember the traumatic stuff.
Yeah.
You know, like not traumatic, but like the over the top, just like, because I did. That was Partridge, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Running down the hallway, and the hallway's so thin, and I could reach both sides as I ran. I'm just smashing it as I ran. God, I was such an angry little fella.
Yep.
He's still in there. I've just learned how to,
how to control it, you know.
I learned how to deal with my emotions. Most of the time. You can still get me going. Make
I
some
try
mistakes
all the time.
every once in a while. Yeah. Yeah. It's easy to control your emotions when you're behind a mic and there's no one else talking to you.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's I don't know where we got. Oh yeah, environment versus willpower. So you there's this thing called emotions that all the humans have, and so you just got to make sure that you know what your habits are, and then build your environment to kind of make it the best for you when you're the weakest.
Yeah, and the important thing is if you're in a bad environment, just do everything possible to change that environment as quickly as possible. You know,
yep,
because it's just going to help you lower that friction to get where you want to go.
Yep, and there's a potency behind this too. Like for alcohol, it could be all over the house. Open containers, people enjoying that can actually drink one drink and then don't drink anything until the next weekend or a few weeks away, when that was not how I could do it. It's like, I love this. Yeah. This is great. More of good. Great. You know? But that is so potent for me. But to avoid, I'm just like, yeah, whatever. Because I know as soon as I have a drink, it's like there's going to be 2 or 3 and then it's not going to get wild, but then I'll just want to keep repeating. And I'm going to suffer for it. I'm going to get heavier and I'm going to feel sluggish and I'm not going to be able to serve my clients well and my family. So I feel great about just wherever that is. I'm like, that's cool. I could swim in this stuff. But the second that I notice that starts to deteriorate, I'm going to make rule changes to my environment.
Yeah.
And we're going to make it so that if I become weak, I'm going to put myself in the best position to not act on that weakness.
Yeah, you're not going to intentionally go out and hang out at a bar, and
it's just practical.
Yeah, it's like why would I do that?
Right. Oh, but all my friends do that though. Still,
great. They can still go do that.
Yeah, that's right. They can.
Yeah, it's like, hey, man, yeah, why don't I meet you before we can do something? You guys can do that, and I'll head home and do whatever, or vice versa. Like if you guys need someone to drive you after you finish, call me up and I'll come pick you guys up.
Yeah, we have a great conversation on the way home.
Yeah. I'm sure they'll be hilarious.
Yeah. All right. What is there to recap on this episode? I mean,
well, we touched on purpose. I think most of the value happened before we started recording, though. But
well, you were certainly on the most, fire. You were pretty much on fire, and you were giving me a good lecture. That was
I know. And then we hit record after. So,
well,
yeah, this is kind of how it works.
Maybe there's some purpose to that.
Yeah, thanks. But I mean, just to summarize there, I was having a conversation with someone at work, and their dad. I'm just kind of repeating myself, but the listeners didn't hear this, but and their dad is retiring, and he's done owned his own business, and he's worked at that business his whole entire life, and now it's like, okay, well, what is he going to do? Is he just going to stay at home and knit socks or do gardening or something like that? And that the person I work with is like, I don't think so. He needs to work with his hands and do stuff, and he's great at helping others, and he needs to be involved with the community, and it's because everyone needs purpose. Everyone needs something to keep going. It's like part of our being, where like you see retirees do this all the time, where they retire, they don't have any purpose, and then they pass away within a year or two, right? But then, the grandparents that live next to their kids, and they have their grandkids around, their purpose is to be a part of those grandkids' lives. And so they live long and happy retirements because they are involved. They're at their schools or at sporting events. They're hosting like cooking things, and they are active and involved with those grandkids. And they live till their 90s or 100s or whatever because, they have that purpose. But the grandparents that are, 5 states away or in a retirement home, and no one comes to visit them, there's just zero purpose to their lives. And they just give up, right? They mentally, and mind over body, right? They mentally give up. And so their body gives up, and then they're done. And I think, a lot of societal things that happen lately also shows this, right? Because kids that don't have purpose, they're just sucked into social media. They don't have a lot of drive to, be part of their communities, et cetera, et cetera. They go crazy. They shoot up a school. They, commit suicide, or there's all kinds of things that are driving these kids to do just crazy to us things. And I think it's derived from lack of purpose, right? Because that purpose is sucked away by insert whatever, and I think that's the key to a very long and happy career, is to find that purpose in what you're doing, is because you'll be able to put way more passion into it, way more drive, and you'll want to continue to grow and just be super excited to keep pushing yourself and to learn, and you'll show up to work every day and just be super pumped to work with your coworkers, et cetera, because you have that purpose of what you're after, right? Whether it's to serve the customer, if you're in the services industry, if it's to design that latest, coolest widget, if you're in a product design, et cetera, save lives by designing some new safety system. You can find a purpose in what you're doing, no matter where you are. Just find it. It doesn't have to be your lifelong goal purpose, but as you say, right, you can have a purpose with your family, you can have a purpose with your work, you have a purpose, et cetera, or pursuit, right? You can find something in your career, you make it your purpose in your pursuit, and that will let you grow and and flourish as an engineer.
And you can change your purpose when your purpose no longer serves you.
Yeah.
That's one. And two, when you do have a purpose and you're striving for it, all of the tools around you, all of these things around you become all of a sudden tools for good, tools for winning, helping, contributing, and everything outside of your body, which puts it in the category of being a tool for you to use, then becomes very obvious to you how you can wield it for good and for a better life.
Yeah.
All right. Take us home, Steve.
Yep. All right. If you learned something today or think someone else needs to hear our point of view, please share the show. Also, you can leave us a rating. We prefer 5 stars, but if we earned only 4 today, that's okay too. You can leave that as well. There's also comments that really helps people understand what the show's all about. So if you can leave us a worded review, that would be fantastic as well. It's the best way we can grow the podcast and continue to create value and impact for the engineering community.
And if you think we suck, do us a favor or do yourself a favor and remove us from your environment.
There you
Stop
go.
listening to us.